Hello everyone, Chlorophyll here, but you can call me Phil. I'm from the AquascapeGuide.com. And guess what? The Nano has seen better days. It's time to rescape it. It's been about a year since we originally scaped the Nano. And as it goes, I got busy with life and kiddos, wasn't keeping up with the water changes. Shoot, this tank even survived a blizzard back in February this year. But with all of that, everything went to poop. RIP. But it's okay. It's time for a rescape anyways. Let's talk about what I can do to help make this tank more sustainable, just so you guys learn. First, I just had a little desk lamp on this tank. And to make matters worse, the way it's designed, I can't even put it on a timer. I know, blasphemy, right? This is a terrible idea. I'd forget to turn the light on or off for days, which is obviously not great for the plants and the sustainability of the tank. So we just ordered one of those cool little nano lights from O&F. We'll do a video on that when it arrives. Secondly, there's no CO2 in the tank. Not running CO2 is fine for the prior design, but with how I want to scape it moving forward, we are definitely going to want a better light and some CO2 in the tank. I have a little paintball tank CO2 system that I'm going to install on it, but more on that in another video. So moving forward, I'm going to have a better light and some CO2, and this little bad boy should take off. As far as the design goes, I really want to try an Iwagumi scape. Yeah, this guy. They're really minimal in design, which makes them really beautiful. I also want to try out the lean method with this Iwagumi. We've always dosed the EI method, which makes plants go crazy, but we want to try something new. Hey, if the lean method is good enough for ADA, why not give it a shot? We'll take you along for the ride as this tank matures. Okay, so it's scaping time. So sit back, relax, and enjoy watching me work. First things first, we gotta tear this bad boy down. So I'll unplug everything, including the heater and nano filter, and drain this kid. I'm going to drain it a couple times just to get everything out of the water column and get the sand real clean. I like to reuse my substrates in hardscapes if I can, so long as they're clean. Then we'll pull out the old hardscape, which I will add. The Marimo moss is still looking pretty dang healthy, even after all that neglect. What a champ. Okay, back to sucking out all this sand and cleaning out the bottom real well. I'm going to reuse an old aqua soil for this scape, and I don't want it mixing with any sand. Okay, let me take this thing over to the sink and finish up the cleaning process. We'll get scaping. Next, I'll need to gather up my scaping materials and select our plants. As stated earlier, I have some old ADA Amazonia left from an old scape, so we're going to use that. All the plants in this Iwagumi are heavy root feeders, so I need to make sure that the substrate is going to be packed with nutrients. And with the lean method, we'll keep all the nutrients in the substrate. I also have my little trusty bucket of hardscape. All we're going to need is just 2 or 3 larger stones, and then a little handful of secondary stones to add some smaller details, but not much. As far as the plants go, the main plant I'm going to use is some mini hairgrass from Tropica, but I do want to break up the texture a little bit more. I have a couple sad looking Tropica cups that we obviously can't sell to customers, so I'm going to see if I can get some good plant mass out of them to salvage the cups and help create that texture breakup in the scape. I have a sad looking little gloss cup, along with this cactus dude. Oh, please don't make me say it. Alright, here we go. Area colon? Something like that. Sorry, Tropica. We're just gonna call him Cactus Dude. Next, we'll need to dump in our aqua soil and add some hardscape. Don't get hung up on finding the best aqua soil. As we teach, so long as you have a high CEC aqua soil, paired with some holistic fertilization, the aqua soil is gonna absorb the nutrients for our root feeders. If you haven't already, check out our Providing Nutrients video. We talk about this 1-2 punch of a high CEC substrate and a great holistic fertilizer. Hey, did you know that ASG has its own fertilizer? You definitely gotta check that out. It's gonna be a better option than any all-in-one fertilizer you're gonna find on the market. We'll put both a link to the product on our website, a link to the video we created where we talk about the ASG fertilization kit, and a link to the video where we talk about the most efficient way to provide nutrients to an aquascape. Sorry, went off on a little tangent there. Back to scaping. Okay, so I want to create a big slope. We'll have a ton of soil in the back and very little in the front. From there, we're going to add 2 larger stones. I was thinking about 3, but I think it's going to be too much for this little 2-gallon nano, and I want it really simple. So after adding those, I was looking at it like, you know what, it's looking a little flat. One thing you can't forget about is adding height. So I'll add some stones underneath the main stones that we really want to see, just to raise them up a bit. I want these 2 stones to look like they're protruding out of the aqua soil, and not just sitting there like a bump on a log. I also want them slanted inwards to bring the viewer's eye towards the center of the scape. This is called creating a focal point. And then we'll add a little more soil in to fill in some of the gaps. And then we'll add our secondary stones to add a little more visual interest. Again, it's all about breakup, and I want to break up these 2 larger stones with these little guys. I do want to keep the hardscape simpler, so I don't want to add a ton of smaller stones, but some breakup is nice. Okay, here's what we ended up with. I'm happy with it. Again, an Iwagumi is meant to be extremely simple, so don't overthink this guy. Next is my favorite part, it's planting time! You guys, it's the simple things in life. In the last scape, I didn't really get to show you guys how to break up and plant a Tropica tissue culture cup. Because shoot, it was just moss, anubis, and some boost. But I'll show you this time around. Just pull the plant out of the cup and rinse it off really well. It will sometimes have some gel at the base, and we need to get all that off before planting it. I just rinse it really well with either tank water or some dechlorinated tap water. After that, we're going to tear this plant disc up into a handful of plugs. The crazy thing is you can get anywhere from 6 to 10 plant plugs in each cup. I was able to get 8 plugs out of a single mini hairgrass cup. That's crazy. But I also have a sad looking mini hairgrass cup I'm going to try to save as well. So we'll plant that too. So the same deal. Pop it open, rinse it off, break it into plugs, and plant them. Next is the gloss. Again, definitely couldn't sell this cup to a customer from our store. So we'll break it up and plant it. See if we can save this little guy. Next is the the cactus dude. Oh man, that isn't looking good. Let me rinse it off and see if we can save any of the plant mass. Yeah, see this little bit? Nah. Rip, this cup's a goner. I hate to see it, but it'll just rot in the tank. So we'll have to pass. And this is what we're left with. I like it. The entire scape will be so green. So we'll get that uniformity in color, but then we'll get the breakup in texture of the hairgrass and the gloss. We'll just need to keep it trimmed really low as to not throw off the scale on this little Nano scape. Next, it's flooding time. Let's see if we can get water in this kid without making a huge mess. Sorry, wifey. As I showed you in the prior scape, get something to put down so that the water doesn't hit the aqua soil directly, making a huge mess of your water column. It also protects the plants from being uprooted when you fill the tank. I just grabbed this little reusable Ziploc bag that was sitting in the kitchen when I was filming. It'll work. No need for anything fancy. You could use something like saran wrap or a clean plastic grocery bag, whatever keeps us from splashing the substrate directly. Then I gotta net out any floating debris and fix this little area right here. Don't want that grass coming up, that's for sure. Next, since we're attempting the lean method, I want to add some Tropica root tabs into the substrate to ensure the plant has everything it needs to be happy and healthy, and get rooted. As stated before, this 88 Amazonia is from an old scape, so I'm pretty sure it doesn't have any nutrients left in it. So these tabs will take care of that. I'll teach you guys a little trick to keep these capsules from floating up after putting them into the substrate. Get a little safety pin or a push tack and poke some holes into the cap. As you go to push the caps under the aqua soil, they'll fill with water, preventing them from floating up. Cool, huh? And we'll just put a couple of these into the 4 corners of the scape. Next, we need to get this hang-on back running to help clean up our water column. Imagine if you didn't use something to protect the aqua soil when flooding the aquascape. This thing would be a mess. I'm going to run some filter floss in the filter to help clear up the tank quickly. I love these large rolls, as I can cut a little piece to the size I need for my filter. It's a super cost-effective way to have crystal clear water. We'll put a link in the description below. Then I'll add my little USB heater in, and we're good to go. Oh, shoot, I almost forgot some prime. Plop. Okay, and this is what it's looking like 24 hours later. So much clearer. I do love me some filter floss. We can't wait for this scape to fill in and mature. Oh yeah, in the next video, I want to show you guys how to set up a little paintball tank CO2 system, as they are cheaper and a more compact way to get CO2 into these smaller tanks. So keep an eye out for that video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Well, that's it for this video. We'll keep you guys posted when we get our ONF Nano light, and we'll get working on a video that covers all the ins and outs of a paintball tank CO2 system. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this scape come together. We'll see you in the next video. Later, scapers!